Good morning, everyone. This is your host, Croomy, of used to be Talking Steaks. We're going to rename it Cigar Connections, and this is going to be the first episode of season 2. And we are here at Trufa Restaurant in Harlem, and I have my special guest, someone I've been trying to get on the show for a very, very long time, Ryan of LionsHeart Trading LLC, and I'm willing to dive into it. We're bringing something different to you this first episode for season 2. We're actually not at a cigar lounge today. We're at a breakfast, lunch, brunch spot. We're going to be eating their food on the show while we conduct the interview to showcase the restaurant, to showcase their food, and as I always want to do, showcase another great entrepreneur. Ryan, welcome.
Nice to meet you, brother. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. I would love to be around like-minded people and people with that energy, and you're definitely one of those people.
I truly appreciate that. How do you feel about this restaurant? Looking at the menu.
I love steak and eggs, so they had me sold on that already. So anything with steak and eggs and a coffee, I'm like, all right. And the atmosphere is classy. I love it.
So I guess we get into both same things. They do. Trufa have a brunch special. They have, I'll read it off to y'all real quick. They have a black linguine. They have the skirt steak, which both with me and him are both having, and they have a soup of a day, either clam chowder, linty, or mushroom. If you want to see more about their menu, I will have the owner or the hostess here today stop in real quick and talk about it. But give y'all a heads up right now. It's www.trufasrestaurant.com. That's TRUFA restaurant.com. So, but enough about that. He's going to come take our order soon.
Yes.
We're going to put our order in. But Ryan, as I said, welcome, and let's dive into this.
All right, let's do it.
So, Ryan, what is LionsHeart Trading LLC?
Well, LionsHeart Trading LLC is basically a financial education company where we specialize in technical analysis in terms of finding low risk, high reward trade setups in the market, whether that's on a 2-3 weeks basis, whether that's monthly, whether that's investing, whether that's you want to learn how to day trade. So we teach you all, and we just teach you from A to Z how to appropriately do that, whether that's options, whether that's futures, whatever with a chart we traded.
Oh,
yes.
That's interesting. So
yes.
you're basically a financial investment company, but for yourself.
Right.
That's convenient for the people.
That's right. And that's simple as well, because a lot of the times when it comes to trading, you have a lot of people out there that try to make this thing very complicated, and they have all these different analysis and this, and we do our best to dumb it down for anyone who or keep it simple, I should say, for anyone who's experienced and just looking to make some minor adjustments to their system that they may already have, and to be a little bit more consistent to people who maybe don't know anything from anything, right? So we cater to all those people. Even some of my best traders are people who didn't come from that background, but because we kept the system, they stayed with the system, they put in the work, they were able to profit on a daily basis or whatever situation that best for them.
Okay. So we're going to get back to LionsHeart Trading LLC. Please talk a little bit about yourself. Like, who is Ryan?
That's a lot of people always ask me that, right? But and not to make it seem like I like to talk to myself, but I always like to relate to people, about the background. I come, my family, and it comes from the beautiful island of Grenada. So I got with a little pinch of Beijing, a little Barbados in there on my mother's side. I went to school at St. Joseph University. My first semester, I always wanted, originally, funny enough, I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a pediatrician.
Really?
But I always wanted to kind of figure out, the difference. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I kind of always wanted to go ahead and figure out, well, my first semester of school, of college, I wanted to say, all right, well, did I wanted to pursue that kind of biology, that becoming a doctor and going through that process, or did I kind of wanted to go against the grain, because I come from a family of business owners, so I always wanted to go against the grain.
Okay.
But then I took my second semester in finance and business, and then I just fell in love with it. I still love kids, but I just I just fell in love with I just fell in love with finance and that world of money, not so much of what it could do for you, but understanding it.
Okay.
Right. So I fell in love with that, and then through there I met my mentor. In college, because I'm not a lot of people in this business tend to be self-taught. I'm not necessarily. I'm self-taught to a certain point, but to the next point, I was actually mentored by a gentleman who was on the CME, which is for those of us that don't know, is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, which is the equivalent of the New York Stock Exchange.
Oh, okay.
And he worked there for 25 plus years, and we connected very well just because of the fact that he makes trading for a living his thing. That's his only source of income. That's what he does for a living. And we vibed on that connection, right? Because I wanted to make. I always grew up in that idea of, I had an 8th grade teacher named Mr. Vicenti, and he kind of geared me towards that idea of stocks, right? Because he mentioned right before graduation, he had a few of us in the classroom, about 4 or 5 kids, that were in the top of the class, and he said, I'll never forget what he said. He said, if you want to be rich in this country, you have to, and granted that this was almost 22 years ago, okay. He said that if you wanted to be rich in this country, you have to be involved in some way, shape, or form in one of 2 things: real estate and the stock market.
Okay.
Right? And so what better way to go with the stock market, which for a lot of people could be a stepping stone to real estate or opening their own business, right? Because at the end of the day, maybe real estate might have a high cost of entry for most, but with stock market you can do it with whatever money you deem exactly, and use it as a stepping stone or a gateway to open up other businesses. So that always resonated with me. And then going into school and everything, another professor that I had. He mentioned, he said something to the classroom on a whole, and he said, one thing that going on in this world, what you need to understand is that you have a choice. Is either you can work hard for money personally, day to day, or you can make money work harder for you. And guess what? The second thing is always going to work harder for you, right? Because money works.
Okay, so you went to St. Joseph.
Yes.
You have a mentor.
Yes.
Are you still in touch with that mentor?
Yes, I am still in touch with the mentor. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said your family have businesses.
Yes, yes.
If you don't mind,
Yeah. Well, most of my family's businesses is in the islands, but the main one that we have here in New York is Star Caribbean. And what Star Caribbean is we're freight forwarders. So what we do is anybody who wants to send anything back home, if they want to relocate, we go ahead, we put it on a container for you, or we ship barrels or boxes, and we send it back to your home. Anywhere in the world, really and truly, but we specialize in the Caribbean.
So you just an entrepreneur mindset. It's ingrained and embedded in you.
Hey, that's what it is. And I love to be around business owners. I'm also affiliated with Royal Impressions by Chrissy Royal. Right.
Okay.
So, I love to be around business owners because it's the right mindset. I love it.
I got you. All right. Well, Ryan, I could see if I was to go, we could go all day about you.
Oh yeah, of course.
And that's a benefit because that means you have things going on in yourself.
That's right.
You could be a mentor, you motivated other people. Everyone's not just going to come to you and say, hey, what's your business, and you go ahead, boom, 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 go on your way.
Right.
They could actually keep coming back. You build that personal relationship with them.
Yes.
That's a wonderful thing.
And that's what I love to hear. That's what I love to think LionsHeart Trading is all about. It's more than just talking about money. It's about elevating ourselves to the next level, because we accept you from wherever you come from, wherever you want to take trading. A lot of the people that come on board want to go ahead and do trading full time, and there's a guidance for that. But if you want to go ahead.
Would you like the eggs to be cooked for the steak?
Yes, I'll take my eggs.
I'll take my eggs on scrambled
as well.
Scrambled?
Yeah, scrambled as well.
Yes.
And then the steak?
Medium well for me.
Same. Yeah. See, like-minded individuals who want to say.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
So, I know you talked about it a little bit, but indulge a little bit more in the inspiration behind LionsHeart LLC.
It's a funny situation because I always had the curriculum for the courses and LionsHeart, but being a trader, it's a lonely world sometimes, right? Because you're sitting behind a computer, maybe depending on whatever your schedule is, maybe between me personally, anywhere between 8 and 10:30, I'll sit behind, the computer screen, and then after you take your trade or whatever the case is, you're letting it work for you, you're going along your day, you're doing your thing, you're hanging out with whoever, you're exercising, whatever the case is. So, but what happened was one time, my girlfriend and I, we went to a trainer, and we trained with him for a few months. His name is Drew. His company is Trained by Drew on Instagram.
Okay.
And he, one day he had asked me. He said, Ryan, I heard that you do trading, or you do this for a living. Like, that's your only source of income? I'm like, yeah, Drew. That's my only source of income. He's like, all right, I need you to teach me. So we went, we sat down, whatever the case is, and then we're going through the course. And as we're going through the course, he just sits back. And I'm like, Drew, is everything okay? Are you grasping everything? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm grasping everything. He says, and I always get goosebumps talking about it, because he's like, Ryan, you need to show this to the community. You need to show people what you're showing here. Because everybody's used to being on a 5-minute chart, a 15-minute chart, in, out. What you're showing is easy for me, especially someone like me who doesn't know anything, didn't come from that background. Yeah. Easy to grasp and understand. And when he said that, I said, all right, I gotta. If that's the reaction that I'm getting, I'm like, all right, I gotta get serious about this thing and put the company together. And then, funny enough, that was in 2019 December, and then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So then my mindset was like, I don't know if the people are gonna be really, they're worried about being safe right now. I don't know if they got time for this, but I underestimated that. People were more involved, especially with everybody being at home now and the lockdown. Everybody wanted to make money at home in a different way, and then LionsHeart just took off from there. And so it's a blessing, right? Sometimes you just got to get the pedal moving, and you figure it out as you go along. And I've been blessed, right?
Okay. Yeah. So the next question would be, how long has LionsHeart been established? So you answered that since basically 2019.
Yes.
But you've been trading for how long yourself?
I've been trading personally for 10 years.
Okay.
So since I came out of college, I've been trading for that 10 years. Finding myself as a trader, because what a lot of people don't inform you of is that learning to be an investor and or a trader is really about learning yourself. The system itself is easy. Understanding what you have to do when you learn the right tools is easy to understand, but it's understanding yourself with, not only the market, but understanding yourself with money, your relationship with money. Because a lot of it has to deal with patience when you're in the market. A lot of people like to say, well, is the stock market gambling? Well, if you're not educated about it and you're just tossing your money anywhere, it's gambling. But if you're taking educated trades, educated investments, then it becomes a different beast.
So,
right?
Question for you. Since you say you went to college for it,
yes.
Are there classes, is there training, or are there courses that you continue to take?
Yes.
To keep yourself abreast on the changes in the financial industry, or the stocks, or the NFTs, the crypto? Like, how do you keep yourself updated with that?
Well, the way I like to look at it, right, is because a lot of people like to take this business for granted. Like, if you're a doctor, you go to yearly seminars in order to keep what's going on with the medical world, in order to on top of new techniques in medicine, and so same thing with a lawyer. Anywhere you go, even your job, you have job training. You have to do it to stay abreast. I don't see trading any different. I still go back to my mentor whenever he's having the sessions or whatever the case is, or he opens up a session, because he's an older gentleman, so he doesn't have as much time, and he's enjoying life. He's technically retired, but not retired, right? So I take my time, and when he has an opening, and we have time to talk and to go through the system, I always want to go ahead and take those systems that he's had, and kind of not only understand it, to master it further than I've already done, but also to kind of add my kind of experience and my technique in it, because a lot of the times that's where the real key to everything comes when it comes to the market: experience.
Okay. So I know we're going off topic a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay.
But just to get it out there, because I know we have a lot of viewers that are maybe into the stock market on their own.
Yeah.
You know, or just throwing their money into crypto or looking into everything.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the crypto? I guess now I don't know if it's still related to crypto NFTs and the stock. What is your take on that?
Well, with NFTs, it's kind of died down now. I never really jumped onto NFTs because I like to have things that to a certain degree has a little bit of attraction, right? NFTs was maybe less than a year old, when we first started talking, and maybe even so now. So I'm not really involved in NFTs, but crypto definitely, right? Depending on who you talk to, some people might have a standoffish kind of stance on it, but the way I look at it, especially when it comes to cryptocurrency, and if it's here to stay, right? I always tell people I would rather be on the train trying to figure out where the train is going rather than being on the platform and finding out it's going where I needed to go, right? So for those people who want to get involved with NFTs, what I always recommend is, listen, you don't have to break the bank, right? NFTs is such a beast that you can invest a small bit of capital and make a lot of money if this thing does end up being the beast that it can be. Right. The way I always like to relate it is, to me, you got to understand the crypto market right now is an infant market.
Okay.
So it's equivalent to getting, let's say, the stock market when it was 5 years old.
Gotcha.
Right. So I would much rather have some money invested long term for it, right? Whatever. And I'm not saying go put your savings. I would never recommend put your savings. Put a little something that you can lose. And that way I always tell people, put something that you don't mind losing. Put a little $1,000, a little $2,000 that you don't mind, because at the end of the day, that $1,000 being in an infant market growing on, and I always call it a forever hold because it's not something I want to be in and out of. I want to find the coins that make the most sense to me, that primarily I believe could be implemented in government and also in banking.
Gotcha. Okay.
Once you get those guys involved, it's going to take on a life of its own. So you got to do your research and your due diligence by yourself to say, okay, what are the coins that are going to be implemented by government? What are the ones that's going to be implemented by banks, especially central banks, and go from there. Put a little bit of money, do your research, put a little money here, a little money here, a little money here. A little bit goes a long way. And who knows where you'll be in the next 10, 15 years if this thing is here to stay. I personally believe it's here to stay, because once you got the gossip going, once you got the treasury looking at it, once you got regulations on it, or the attempt of regulations on it, you're on the right path, right?
All right, so everybody listen.
Yeah.
Ryan is giving y'all a mouthful.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you got to hit rewind, hit rewind, get your little notepad. All right, write some things down. But he ain't going to give you everything.
Yeah.
If you want everything, you got to go and take the course.
Yeah.
Take the course, because we got to support each other. Take the course. This way you get your foot in the door and you could get everything, and you can learn and you could keep applying it to your life, which can help you, your kids, and go from there.
Generational wealth. That's the name of the game.
All right. So, a very important question, because it does mean a lot to everybody, and it means a lot to me, because that's why I went from Talking Sticks now to Cigar Connections, and I kind of love the name Cigar Connections even more.
I love it too. I love it too.
Why the name LionsHeart Trading LLC? Why that name?
Thank you, brother.
Do ask and let me know if you guys can handle that.
Thank you very much.
Do. Funny you should ask that, right? Because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the times when it has to do with trading, it's about mastering self, right? It's about mastering what is your relationship to money, and so on and so forth. So the reason why I ended up coming up with the idea of LionsHeart Trading is that, a lot of people ask me too, is like, what books do you read when what books do you read to become a better trader? And everybody always expects me to say, well, I'm How to Trading Wizard or some type of trading book. But I always recommend books that where you master yourself, that talks about discipline, about having an organized mind. So I was reading a book called The Motivation Manifesto by Brendan Burchard, and in the text he said a quote that resonated with me. He said, "Why, being endowed with the courageous heart of a lion, do we live as mice?" And I thought that was so powerful, right? I thought it was so powerful because a lot of the times, what are the things that stops us a lot of the times from getting to the next level, depending on whatever walk of life you're, it's about, afraid of failure.
Yes.
It's about about being afraid to get to the next level. What do people think? But we God built us with this heart, the power in order to get to the next level and to be what we want to become. So why do we live as nice? Why do we choose to settle for less than who we really are, right? Or what we can become?
Very much true.
So that's how LionsHeart came to be.
Well, that's powerful right there. And the name just stands out.
Very good, very good.
Oh, this food is very good.
Yeah, very good.
Everyone, food is very good. I ordered my steak medium well.
So did I.
And they got it well. They got it on point.
The home price is amazing too.
Yeah.
Like it has a not too salty. It's just right on point.
So, with that being said, I want to ask you a question. Me and my friends talk about it. We go back and forth. Since you're a day trader, what is the benefit of day trading versus holding?
So, I'd like to kind of demystify something when it comes to day trading, right? Because most people think day trading is only looking at a stock for 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I'm trying to make a quick buck. That's not all what day trading is about. Even myself, I aside from the investing portion, I more so reside on the swing side of things. So,
what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is I will be looking for a setup that I know that I'll get in maybe in the morning, whenever that particular market open, and look to hold it for maybe a few days to a week. So as we speak right now, I'm in a few trades.
Okay.
I don't know. I know it's making money because I have my stop in to take money away in the event that thing. But if it wants to give me more, I have no problem taking more. It's no different than if I was to say, Joey, if I give you $1 million right now, you're not going to say, hey, Ryan, that's too much money. I'll take 500,000. No, you're going to take the whole million.
Yeah.
So I use the same concept when it comes to trading. I have my money locked in right now at where I would like it if what's a feel good number. But if I check it at 1 o'clock and it's even more, I don't have a problem with that. I'll just lock in more profit. So a lot of people think you cannot be have that idea of financial freedom, or that idea of being involved in your life and not have to worry about what's happening on the screen. I like stress-free trading. I don't like to have to worry about being at my screen and so on and so forth. So because at the end of the day, we become, what do? You become, aside from the money, you come here to be financially free and to enjoy life that you couldn't, the same way you couldn't if you had a 9 to 5.
Got
right?
you. Okay. So, if you can, I know certain things specifically come in with the course. So I'll ask you this question. Indulge as much as you can.
Yes.
What do you look for when investing? Like, what catches your attention with the company? Do you read about the company, or like, what is it? What makes you want to say, okay, I'm going to invest a little bit in this?
I'm gonna share a little gem with you guys. Right. A lot of the times, the industry has a habit of wanting to complicate investing more than it has to be, right? A lot of the times you don't need to know, you just need to know 3 things about it. Well, essentially my main guidelines, you only really essentially need to know 3 things about a company in terms of if it's, ready for you to invest in, or if you should be investing in it, right? My first one always is, it has to be a company that aligns with your moral standards.
Okay. Right?
It has to be a company that you believe in their, you believe in their mission. They're not hurting anybody. They're not doing anything. Have them align with your moral standard. The second thing is, a lot of the times the best companies to invest in are a household name, right? We all know about Apple. We all know about Microsoft. And because those companies are worth investing, because why? They're a household name. If your grandmother or your mother is talking about a company that they don't even use, but they hear about a lot, chances are you need to start looking into it to be an investor, right? Getting it at the right price is a totally different ballgame. That's where technical analysis comes in. But that's definitely one of the things that you need to know. You need to understand, is it something that you can go ahead and you invest in, and is it at the right price? That's where technical analysis comes into when to buy. And then the third thing that I always look at, if you do your research in terms of companies that have exploded, especially with this massive bull market that we've been having for the last 11 plus years. It's on the fritz right now, because we are technically now in a bear market. But you want to look at the end of the day, investors like what? Companies that make money.
Yeah.
So essentially what you want to look at is, when you're looking at their financial statements, you don't have to go through everything all the time. You want to make sure that they're legit. And then you go ahead and you say, well, I'm looking over the year-over-year returns of the company. What is the net income, year-over-year net income for that company? Is it doubling? A lot of times, if you look at Tesla, you look at Netflix, you look at all the Facebook, which is now Meta. If you're looking at their financials, they all share that in common. Year-over-year, they doubled their profits, or they were going in the right direction, and they exploded, right? That's essentially, if you abide by those three things, you'll be all right. Maybe there's some other companies that maybe are not as well known, but you need to, maybe only you know of them because of the fact that you're in the trading world, that you have to look at as well. But in terms of the major ones that will give you the nice return on your money, it's usually a household name, and they have a year-over-year return that doubles a lot of the time.
Okay. All right. Well, like I said, it's giving us gems.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm eating right now, so I'm not writing all these gems down. But I got the video, so I'm gonna go back and watch it over and over again. By the way, everyone, this food is excellent. This is the first time I'm doing an interview like this, but we're actually eating.
I like this part.
Normally we'll be smoking cigars, but let y'all know, Ryan is not a cigar smoker, but he is a cigar collector.
Yes.
So,
as funny as that sounds.
So, I'm putting him onto some cigars. I'm putting him onto some of the boutique shops, you guys. Carver, Above the Flame, Elite Chicago, Stogies and Bow Ties. I'm putting him onto everybody. Conscious, Aurora, Black Star Lines. I'm putting him onto all you guys so that he can add it to your collection, especially boutiques. And this way we can get your names out there even more, and keep going. But Ryan, we've talked a lot. Yes. One question before I get to the cigar connections question of the hour.
Yes.
What advice, and just give people a little tidbit with the market that we're in now, how it's up and down and borderline and then spikes up. What advice would you give some people? Would you tell them to jump in, or would you tell people to hold off?
With the current market condition, right? Because fundamentally, as investors, we thrive on up market. Granted that we haven't gotten the upside in the market that we've gotten in the last few years, and technically speaking, it's jumping back and forth between bull market and bear market right now. I advise everyone that if you have any 401ks, go ahead, or if you have any investments that you're looking to start, or you started in the last 2-3 years, hopefully it's not too late by the release of the video. Be in all cash right now. I believe that the market, it does need to cool off. It could be anywhere from a year to 2 years minimum. So this is your time where you want to, if you're already invested in the market, go be in cash. A lot of the top stock that people love are getting slaughtered right now. They've been given away in that 6 months. They've been giving away 5 years of gains. Be in cash. Stack your money right now. Whether if you're employed right now, stack your money, stack your money, stack your money. And then when the time is right, when the market does come to a bottom, and we do have a upside to go back into a bull market, that's where you're going to want to invest your money. For those of us that may have 401ks or 403bs, you want to park your money in something that's going to keep your money even keel right now, whether that's bonds, whether that's something, or just have it in a custodian account where it's not turn it into a check or put it in the cash, because at the moment that you put these 401ks or 403bs in cash, you get taxed, premature retirement, state and federal tax. You don't want to do that. You just want to have it in cash right now, sitting there, ready for you to invest when the time comes. So just park your money, hang out, enjoy your gains for the last few years, And when the time is right, you'll know it. And if you take the course, you'll really know it. So, so that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. So, well, if you want to take the course,
Yes.
you can DM him. We will get you that information. This way, you can go from there and you can make your decision. Which I'm going to say, take the course. I do have a couple of friends that I used to work with who've taken the course, and they are enjoying. I do plan on taking the course soon myself, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and support nothing or do something that I'm not going to do.
This is true.
So
this is true.
So Ryan, I get to the cigar connections question of the hour.
Yes.
And I know sometimes based off of if you do have like non-disclosures and stuff, you can't speak about things. But what can the Cigar Connection family expect in the near future from LionsHeart LLC?
I love it. Right now, a lot of the courses that we're doing, if not all the courses that we're doing right now, is one-on-one private courses. So if you want to take it one-on-one, we get that done for you. And you know, even if you're not in New York, we don't limit you. You could be anywhere in the United States. It's just that obviously if you're in New York, we could do it in person if you want, if you so please. But you can do it anywhere in the United States. You'll get the information. I have some students that's in Chicago. I have some students that's in Virginia, but the bulk of it is in New York. But aside from that, we are going to be opening a LionsHeart office front soon in downtown Brooklyn. As soon as I know the finishing touches on that, I'm surely will get it back to Joey so that he can inform you guys. And therefore, we're going to be opening it up. You're going to use that establishment to open up to class sessions. So instead of just being one-on-one, for those people that may want to do it in a class session, and you know that's their thing, we will be opening up to getting group classes soon to learn the same material. One-on-one, and we will still be having the one-on-one private sessions in the event that you do want to do that. But obviously, you know, price may vary depending on the one-on-one sessions, especially when we have the group session. So you can look at that for the near future.
Wow! So look at this company that started during the pandemic, teaching the majority of New York. Has students in Virginia, Chicago. Hopefully, this helps branch them out some more. But to actually be able to open a storefront, which you can sit down and become educated, and what you're doing is excellent. Because so many businesses may start, and you know they have the dreams of doing a storefront and doing certain things, and it's just either they don't, the income is not there, or they can't get the loans or the grant. But the fact that you're doing it is it's such an awe, and I thank God that God is blessing you, and that is happening. And I'm just happy to continue to see you grow.
Listen, and I failed to mention too, we are going to have a investment component for people who may not necessarily have time to take the class. We are going to have an investment portion to that, but still some time in the making. But I just love, I love what you're doing. I love that you're giving, businesses a moment to sit down and talk to you, and I appreciate it. And you even taught me a lot. I was speaking to you about this earlier before we started, that what you've been doing for me, even as a collector, about learning about cigars and the different types of societies out there, and the intricacies of it and how beautiful it really is, the cigar world. So I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you that and being patient with me.
Well, hopefully with some of the cigars clubs that I met, some of the establishments that I met, I always got ideas, and I'm going to talk to you about some ideas that I have, but I always got ideas. And as you say, everybody that smokes a cigar, you never know who they are. So those who want to learn, I'm going to talk with Ryan. I'm going to try to come up with something where it gives you guys and gals a front door access to something, where it could be something continuous, where the cigar community can continue to grow, invest their money, because if you go to invest in cigars, you can invest in your money in some other stuff, so you can continue to support your habit for cigars. So I'm going to talk with Ryan. I'm going to try to put some things together, and I'll get back to y'all. So Ryan, before we go, where can everybody find you at on social media or the website?
You could find me on Instagram under LionsHeart Trading, all one word. And then you can also get little gems on Twitter with LHT Trading. That's the Twitter handle for Twitter.
Okay. Is there a www website?
No, not yet. Coming soon.
Okay. So you have it Instagram, you have his Twitter. Anything else or anybody else supported you may want to have the followers go follow?
Listen, you need to go out there. You need to follow. If you're looking for a great event decor personnel, Royal Impressions NYC. If you're looking for rentals, Royal Impression Rentals as well. I'm all found. Train with Drew. You know, I have to shout out Drew because he was the one that kind of gave the push. Trains with Drew. He's a fitness trainer, amazing. You know, shout out to everybody at LionsHeart, all the family. You know who you are. And just thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, brother.
And as I always say, please go and follow. It will be in the notes, in the descriptions. These following businesses and companies, their Instagrams. So please go and follow them. Please go. Trufa Restaurant in Harlem is right off of, I believe we're on 142nd and Broadway. It's between 142nd and 143rd and Broadway in Harlem. It's a very nice, chill, sit-down spot. Their food is very good. Their iced coffee is very good. And we just had the brunch menu and the skirt steak with home fries and eggs, and it was on point.
Yup.
Their website again is www.trufflesrestaurant.com. I will take a picture of the menu and post it up for y'all. Me and Ryan are going to take some pictures after this. And it was different. This was a different interview.
It was
nice.
Yeah.
I may have to incorporate this some more, find some other restaurants and try to do it, and go from there. But as I always say, everyone, thank you for watching and viewing. Please follow me at Cigar Connections now. Not Talking Six anymore, but Cigar Connections. And as I always say, peace, love, and God bless. Have a good day.